last match of the league with Orzhov Midrange. This time is the opponent starting first. Let's see what they play. Hoping to not mull down to 5 or to 4. Oh well, that's a 7 cards keep. We'll probably start with Bajuka Boy to cast Generosity or Spear Supplies on turn 2. That's probably Dimir Faeries or Dimir Dolver, which is a good matchup, but I already draw a bad card because Prismatic Strength is very bad against them. Compared to Izzet Faeries, at last Izzet Faeries they have a red removal spells, and we can counter their red removal spells with Prismatic Strength. Why they fetched for black instead of blue? Okay, maybe it's not Faeries because I'm not expecting Faeries to fetch for black when they have already a nice tunnel on the battlefield. Or maybe they have something weird, I guess. Omen of the Dead. I think I can play Silverwood Campus instead of the Bounce Land because I don't really want to discard a card. If they're on it's a Dimir Faeries, Pestilence will be great later, but if they don't, if they're not Dimir Faeries, obviously this Traveling Recoil. Okay, that's probably Dimir Faeries. But Recoil here, thankfully I didn't play the Orzhov Basilica. Let's see if they have a Monarch. That's great. I'm not sacrificing Spear Supplies because I have a Course Anti-Fire and I don't want to get to discard too many cards. Right Fountain is not bad. Generous Edict. I probably play also Basilica, so next turn I can play Swamp. I can play the Swamp or Silverwood Campus if necessary. So they don't have another Ninja. I can play Koska Fisher. So they need double Sprite or a counter spell. That's fine for me. I think I can crack my Spell Supplies in end because if they're not tapping out to cast a Sprite, I want to draw another card, and I also have an Omen of the Dead to bring back my Korseke Fisher. We can play Swamp just because I have a Pestilence in hand, so next turn I can eventually play Pestilence and deals 1 damage to kill one Sprite or any other Faeries. They're not doing anything, that's good I think, but they have only 3 cards in hand. Oh, Cast Down is cute. Okay, I can play around 1 Spellstutter Sprite if I want to play Omen of the Dead, but I can't play around double Spellstutter Sprite. I think I'll start with Travel Inspector because I have Cast Down and I prefer to resolve Omen of the Dead instead of Travel Inspector. But they still don't have the second Sprite. So I can play the second Traven, and potentially I can also play Omen of the Dead. They don't have a Force Spike, they don't have a Spell Spears. By the way, I still prefer to play Omen of the Dead first because I really want to play also around Force Spike if possible. They don't have anything left in the end, apparently. So we should keep in mind that they have a recoil in their main deck, probably a singleton copy. Maybe they have copied Kaza's Decklist, which get a first place in the last Saturday Poker Challenge, because they were playing recoil, main deck recoil, and you have a double. No. Okay, a single snuff out. Only one. I'm missing 1 mana to cast my trainer setting from my graveyard. Okay. So I guess I should crack some clue and try to find a land. I'll try to find a Ramos. Well, spare supplies. I think I should play Korsky Fisher. No, wait. Because Korsky Fisher is great, but if I draw a Chinos Edict or cast down, I can kill their turn off the Black Rose. And I guess stealing their Monarch is probably much more important than resolving a Korsky Fisher this turn. Let's see if they have another snuff out. Yeah. Wait, I also draw a Swamp, so I can cast Channel's Edit eventually. Oh no, Faeries here. Well, we have a Pestilence. We have a Pestilence and also Prismatic Strength in graveyard. Pestilence. And then I'll play Korsky Fisher and I'll bring back Omen of the Dead. If they have a Splitscatter Sprite, they can't counter my Korsky Fisher with Pestilence on the battlefield. And if they have a Rumble spell, I can kill their Faeries with Pestilence. I think I'll block. There's no reason to not block their Faeries. If they have an Echoing Decay, I can flashback Prismatic Strength. Okay. I won game 1 thanks to the opponent Monarch. Prismatic Strength is really bad against Faeries. Cards that I want to bring in are usually Reaping and Ashes to Ashes. I'm not bringing in Relic of Progenitus because I am also bringing in Reaping of the Graves, and my graveyard is more relevant compared to theirs. Usually Relic is good to destroy their Stormbound Guest with only one creature, or to prevent them from landing an early game Gurmagangler. But since I have also cards like Ashes to Ashes or Cast Down, I think that I'm allowed to not play Relic of Progenitus against them. I also don't really like Creep Rats because it's a one-shot Master Removal spell. Compared to Pestilence, it's not really great to prevent them to float the board with their creatures, or to control the game. Creep Rats can be good if they keep a lot of Faeries and Spellscatter Sprite against me, but I think that Echoing Decay, Korsky Fisher, and Pestilence are enough. Also, we can think about Palace Sentinel. For the same reason as we board out the Palace Sentinel against Dimir, we can bring in Castigate and cut the Palace Sentinel. I'm starting on the for second. I'm on the play. Sorry. I'm on the draw. So if they have too many creatures, we are not able to land a Palace Sentinel and keep the Monarch. Also, if they have a spell status sprite, well, they can simply snuff out my Jump Blocker, my Korsky Fisher, and they can still with the Monarch with a spell status sprite casted in my end phase. We can eventually cut 1 or 2 copies of General Static to bring more copies of Castigate if we fear Stormbound Geist, but I'm relying a lot of Ashes to Ashes because I think that's like a really good card. Basically, I play Ashes to Ashes instead of Journey to Nowhere, and Journey to Nowhere was also good as a turn 2 removal spell to kill the Faeries, to prevent them playing a ninja. Basically, Generous Edict is as a removal spell for 2/1 Faeries or 2/2 ninja, so as a similar role, and there's not so much reason to not play to cut too many copies of Generous Edict and die from an early game ninja. Oh, that's great, because they don't have a turn 2 ninja, but they have a Relic of Progenitus to prevent my recursion from the graveyard. By the way, we have a Generous Edict to kill the Faeries here, which is great, which also means that I have more chances to resolve my spell supplies next turn and play, and I'm not discarding anything with the Orzhov Basilica. Because since I was starting, I was second, I was on the play, I was on the draw, I draw an extra card, and I'll discard eventually a card if I don't play anything in the early game. Here I prefer to destroy the Ogre of Bolas because I don't want to die from a ninja. They have Snuff Out, so my Korsky Fisher can't really block. And this turn I'll play Orzhov Basilica and bounce Swamp instead of Kabir Crossroads, because I want to play Spare Supplies plus Korsky Fisher or Guardian of the Guildpact in the next turn. If they are tapping out, I'll play Guardian of the Guildpact, probably. If they're not tapping out, I'll play Korsky Fisher. Oh, they have Recoil. I still think that Recoil is not a great card, but I can't really play Guardian of the Guildpact if they have Recoil, because they can just bounce the Guardian. Probably they'll bounce my bounce land next turn, and that will be really troublesome. But if they have a ninja, the most reasonable play for them will be ninja and play against Ogre of Bolas, unless they have a counterspell to protect their ninja. Okay, they have the ninja, and we can't really play Guardian of the Guildpact. By the way, Recoil is just a bad Agony Warp in this situation. Are they really playing Recoil here? There's no reason. I think I should discard Swamp, only because that's the worst card in my hand. Next turn I can just play Coin Decay and Basilica again. Bye bye, ninja. I play again Basilica, and I think I can bring back Kabir Crossroads. No, it's just better bouncing back the Swamp, since I have also Kissed the Squire. So I can play Guardian of the Guildpact. If they have a counterspell, I can play then Kissed the Square the next turn, and trying to bring back my Guardian. Ah! You also have the Monarch. They have Monarch and Ogre of Bolas in hand. Right. And they also have a Faeries here. Size, they don't have a counter spell in hand. No, there's no reason to play Ashes to Ashes now. I should try to kill I should try to steal their Monarch with Guardian. Next turn I can play Ashes to Ashes, exile Faeries and Ogre of Bolas, or Faeries and Tarn. They played first Protein. So seems reasonable. So if they put the cards on top, they can play Ogre of Bolas and be sure to reveal a card with Ogre of Bolas. Duress. Wow. If I remember correctly, my opponent's list play only a singleton copy of Duress in their side, which is really weird because, you know, that 1 mana answer, and against me, for example, Duress is good because they can proactively counter Pestilence. Don't really get why playing only a single copy of Duros. So they can attack with Faeries, and they draw little creatures. Ashes to Ashes here will be great, but oh well. By the way, I draw a cast down so I can kill their Gurmagangler. Spare supplies. Let me resolve my spare supplies, please. Another Guardian. Okay, I'll play first Guardian Fountain. Then we can kill the Gurmagangler. And we can steal their Monarch. So we draw an extra card. I'm still at 20 lives, so taking 3 damages for the next turn is not really troublesome. We draw a card, and that card was a Korsky Fisher. It's good. Let's see if they draw too many cards, because they draw another Angler. Okay, so they have a single card in hand. I can try to play another Guardian and a Korsky Fisher. Until now, they played only a single cantrip. So I'm not sure if it's good to play around counter spell, Spellstutter Sprite. If they draw a counter spell and a Spellstutter Sprite, they'll be able to win. I guess. And still need to attack here. If I draw another land, an untapped land, I can play both Squire and Skyfisher. Oh, they draw a Brainstorm. By the way, until now they were able to win. They were able to play only thanks to the Monarch, because they draw so many power cards only thanks to the Monarch. They also draw another Ninja. Okiba Gen Shinobi? Seriously? The singleton copy of Okiba Gen Shinobi. Okay. I should discard Basilica. Probably I should discard Spare Supplies. Why not? Next turn I can play Korsky Fisher, bounce the Guardian Fountain, and then play Custody Square, which is also great. Hoping they didn't draw any... Pestilence is also great. I think I should play Pestilence instead of anything else. Oh no, Yeah, play Pestilence. Let it resolve, please. don't draw any counter spell. No, what are you doing, opponent? No, bad opponent. I think attacking with only Cork Fisher is better here, because literally... What? Okay. And now I'll play a Korske Fisher just to have another creature on the battlefield. Radiant Fountain instead of Kabira, because if I draw with a Monarch and Ash Islands, I can cycle. That's another good draw. Okay, let's see if my draws are better than the opponent's draws. I can block Okiba Genshinobi with Guardian, so they're probably not gonna attack with Okiba Genshinobi. If they attack with both Angler and Okiba, I'll block Okiba with Korske Fisher and okay, at this point I need to block the Okiba Genshinobi. I can't discard these two cards. Killing my Korske Fisher was a good idea. But they have only two cards left in their hand. That's great. If I play Custody Square, they'll crack and response the Relic, so there's no reason to play it. And I guess playing Pestilence here is... I need to play Pestilence here. Okay. What is my best play now? Since I don't really have any removal spells, attacking with Korske Fisher means that I'm taking 1 damage from Ogre of Bolas. 1 damage at least. I think I need to take this risk. Also, they didn't draw any ninja. No, they didn't draw any Agony Warp or Junior Static until now, so I just hope they didn't draw any one not right now. Another Brainstorm with another Ogre of Bolas. Good for you, opponent. Brainstorm, Ogre, they did not draw anything. Okay, I guess we should kill their Faeries here, because basically, and there's no reason to not kill it. And then I can only block their Gurmagangler. They have a ninja. Oh, I can't activate my Pestilence anymore. I can exile a Pestilence from my graveyard. Scarlet Boundaries is not bad. I'll play... I can play Bonders Ornament into Custody Square. I should play... okay, so yeah, I'm not able to... 1, 2, 3, 4... No, I need to play first Custody Square. So they'll crack Relic on response. Or they have a counter spell. At this point I'll bring back Korske Fisher. And with Korske Fisher I bounce a Radiant Fountain. Okay. I'll play Skill Balance. And I just hope they didn't draw any removal spell. Let's see. Snuff out, cast down, Chinar's Edict. What do you draw? Oh, another cantrip. Okay. If they attack with everything, I should block Squire with Ogre of Ballas with Squire, Ninja with Core, a Wrangler with Guardian, but they draw a cast down, so I'm taking one single damage from Ogre of Ballas. And they draw the second Rumble spell. It's fine. It was clear after they draw the Dearest and the second Gurmag Angler that was really difficult this game. But I think that's fine. I mean, they had a very powerful start, so I can still play one game at least. I try to win. I think I don't want to make any change. Probably they don't have Starbound Geist in their sideboard, but still I think that Ashbar Ashes to Ashes is good. If they don't have any Starbound Geist, having more copies of General Edict is obviously better than not having only 2 or 3 General Edict. Castigate is great, but if they draw more answers than threats. I kept this hand because I have a Traben Inspector and a Korsky Fisher. Basically, it's a grindy hand. Having only one removal spells will be troublesome only if they draw too many creatures and only if I don't draw a third land. And by the way, if they don't draw a land, usually this deck loses to Faeries only if you draw too many lands or only if you don't draw any lands. Okay, we miss it. I still didn't draw a land, but if I draw any land here, will be really great. If I draw an untapped land, I'll go for Ponder's Ornament. Okay, seems troublesome. Bounce land on the top deck. That's fine. It's both a land drop and the missing color, so I'm fine with it. And eventually next turn we can play Travel Inspector with Echoing Decay as backup, or eventually we can play Ornament, but if they have 2 mana open, I fear their counterspell. I don't want to get a ninja, so I prefer not cracking the clue. I crack the clue now, and I draw another land. Attack with Traben. I think that's fine to play a Korsky Fisher now. So they're wasting a counter spell, and if not, at least I'm able to draw an extra card with Splash Supplies. As predicted, they have a cast down. That's fine for me. But they still don't have a Sprite. Oh, okay. Relic of Progenitus. If I crack my Spare Supplies, I go up to... If I crack Spare Supplies, then I should play Ponder's Ornament, but having double Guardian of the Guildpact is not bad, because I can force my opponent to counter the Ponder's Ornament and then resolve at least 1 copy of Guardian of the Guildpact, which is great. I think we should play first Radiant Fountain, but there's no real reason. I think they're willing to counter my Ponder's Ornament, which is fine for me. And then I can play a Spare Supplies, because they're not able to cast a Spellstutter Sprite in my end of phase. We draw another Korsky Fisher. Cool. That's really relevant. Draw another land. I'm still attacking with my Traben. They probably have only answers in hand, so there's no reason to force a Guardian of the Guild Pact, probably. Okay, bring back the spare supplies. I should play first a Swamp, because if they have a Sprite, if they have double Sprite, they can play 2 copies of Spell Starter Sprite just to counter my spare supplies. And then I'll pass. There's no reason to tap out to play a spare supplies, because if they have a Rumble spell and a Spell Starter Sprite, they can play a Ninja. Exile Ponder's Ornament. We draw Pestilence. Great. I guess we should play first spare supplies, see what the opponent decides. If I play Guardian, they can counter it, play Spell Starter Sprite and play a Ninja, so I prefer not playing anything else. Pass. Let's see if they have a Ramos Fellas and a Thorn of the Black Rose, but they don't have any, apparently. I don't really want to crack this spare supplies, but I guess having a Guardian of the Guild Pact that I want to play the next turn, I can do it. Cycle for black. So now that we have a Castigate, we probably are sure to resolve at least one copy of Guardian of the Guild Pact. I'll play first my Castigate. Let's see what they have in hand. Oh, probably no. If they want to play double Sprite here. We play Swamp and Guardian of the Guild Pact. They need a third copy of Counterspell, which they may have, but at least they wasted their 3 of 4 counterspells. Ooh, they have a Mikoin Decay. They have a Generosity probably in end. Purdain, that's fine. Probably I should sacrifice my spare supplies in end. Just to... Just to draw an extra card. They put no cards in hand with Augur of Polish, which is great. I think I'll play Edict plus Guardian of the Guild Pact next turn. So I play around various Spell Pierce and etc. And I land another Guardian. I think I can also play Korsky Fisher just to play around the Chinor's Edict, and I can eventually exile the graveyard with Korsky Fisher, which is not great, but I can prevent them from playing a Gurmagangler next turn, get some time. I'll play first Guardian, because if they have a Force Spike or something similar, they conceded. Nice. Okay, that's a good result. I lost to Affinity because they had a nut draw both in game 1 and game 2, but still I found 4 favorable matchup, and for that reason, with my really lucky draws, I was able to get the second most valuable result in leagues, in the proper leagues. Having won 4 matches means that I won 5 treasure chests, 120 play point, and 2 qualifier point for the premier event on Magical Line. Hoping you enjoyed this series of video. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.